Adriana and I were over at Dorian's house, and we met this guy who says his name is Charlie Balsom.
Wait a minute, where? Is this the same Charlie Balsom that saved you from Manning?
Yeah.
Adriana said that he was no relation.
Well, because that's what he said when we first met him. But then I started putting the heat on Roxy about Boulaie, and she told me that he isn't my real father.
And your real father is?
This guy, Charlie Balsom.
Okay. Does he know that?
He has no idea, according to Roxy. She goes into this rant about how Boulaie and Charlie were cousins. So Charlie came over one night. They got drunk. They got together, and ta-da! As if my self-esteem isn't through the roof enough. Now I have find out that I'm the product of two total strangers bonding over a bottle of bourbon. A little depressing.
Did you talk to Charlie about Roxy?
Oh, she begged me not to. She was afraid her reputation would be ruined. What's left of it. And if I can't talk to the guy...
What about a DNA test?
Well, you can't do a test without Charlie, right? And what if Roxy's making it up? Or what if he has no idea, doesn't want anything to do with me? Where does that leave me?
You know, Balsom, you have turned your life around in the past 5 years. Now you're engaged to this terrific girl. The two of you are very happy. If you find out who your real father is now, that's not going to change anything.
Change things for Matthew.
What made you think I've been drinking again?
Well, you dropped off the face of the earth. You never returned my calls, and now you're living with Dorian? You know, that alone is self-destructive.
No, look, Vicky, you were there with me when I took my last drink, and I never would have made it through that without you.
Okay, you know, there's this awful thought that is going through my mind right now.
What? Oh, no. Oh, there's nothing like that going on here. No, Dorian and I are just friends.
You're friends with Dorian? Where did you even meet her? Did you meet her at Moe's Diner?
No, it wasn't there.
Does she know that you and I know each other?
Well, she didn't know until she saw the picture, that picture of you and I at the Bonjour.
You still have that?
Well, of course I do. I've got it right in my folder. I'm looking at it all the time. Anyway, it wasn't until after the hostage thing that she finally admitted to me that she knew you.
After?
Yeah, because, you see, she was kind of surprised to see you in a waitress uniform and everything, and I had told her that you and I had not told each other our last names, and I think it was sort of out of maybe a respect for your privacy that she didn't feel it was right for her to mention about your life here in Landview.
And then she just invited you to live with her?
Well, oh, yeah, she wouldn't she wouldn't take no for an answer, no. Yeah, she said she's got, you know, a lot of empty rooms here, and you know, she didn't want me to just waste money on a hotel, so.
I see, so I'm assuming she's filled you in on our relationship.
Oh, yeah. She's told me about how you're her oldest and dearest friend.
Me falling for Charlie? No. We're just friends. That's all there is to it.
He's a lying drunk. You know that, right? And he screwed over everyone in his life. You won't be an exception.
The love of my life was a recovering alcoholic named Mel Hayes. So I know what I'm talking about. I can understand why you're angry and bitter because of the kind of father that Charlie was, but he is a different man today. I'm telling you, I haven't seen him touch alcohol the entire time I've known him.
I know my father, okay? The man who was my father. And he's not worth your time. And he's definitely not worth mine.
You punk!
What did you call me?
I called you a punk because that's exactly what you are. You are a first-time novice con man trying to pull off this huge scheme. How many people are onto you? Punk, there's Pamela, there's me, there's Charlie. Who else? I'm telling you, sooner or later, you're going to fall.
Because you're going to make that happen.
Because You are not as good as you think you are. But for some reason, despite the kind of man you have become, Charlie is desperate to make amends with you. And I intend to see that he is not denied that opportunity.
If I see him, you keep your mouth shut.
Absolutely. In fact, I'm rooting for you. Shall we?
Shall we what?
Your father is at my house right now. I think your coming over to see him would be such a pleasant surprise.
I know I'm gonna regret this.
Not as much as the alternative.
There must be something in this for you.
Someday, perhaps I'll ask you to return the favor.
What do you want? Okay? I'll write you a check when I leave here.
What? I'll bribe one of the nuns to throw the bingo game my way?
Okay, then what do you want?
My freedom.
Your freedom.
This secret is gonna knock your socks off, Jessica. And if you want to know what it is, get me out of here.
So what about it? You help Marcy or not?
So you think that if I put a couple articles in the newspaper asking for compassion for Marcy, that the DA will back off?
It's worth a shot.
Okay. Well, let's say that does work and Marcy goes free. What guarantee would I have that you wouldn't come after me anyway?
My word?
Oh, your word. Well, I don't know why. I even hesitated then.
You don't have to like me to know you can trust me.
What about Ramsey?
What about him?
Well, he should get the same deal I'm getting.
It's a funny thing about Ramsey. No one's heard from him since what happened in Texas.
You don't think he'll resurface?
It's hard to say.
Because I know you hold him responsible for what happened to Marty. So you're saying that if you keep your word and I go free, so does Ramsey. Can you live with that?
Well, Matthew was still a little boy when he found out that I was his father.
Look, I know it's different, but I see how lucky Matthew is to have you. I just think maybe, just maybe I can get lucky too.
But it's not going to change your life. It can't. You shouldn't let it change your life.
What do you mean?
There was a time when I let my relationship with Pa dictate my actions, one way or the other. And it took me a long time to figure out that Asa Buchanan couldn't define who I was. I had to do that on my own. And you have had no choice but to do that on your own. And I think you've done a great job of it, Balsom. I think that I'm very proud of the man that you've become.
Thanks. Means a lot. But even if it isn't true that I don't need a father to define who I am, just to know the guy might help me figure out who I am a little better. Put the pieces of the puzzle together, as they say. You have to understand that, right?
Of course. But let's talk about this Charlie Balsom.
I really don't know much. Hardly anything, except he's already done more for me than Boulaie ever did.
Well, yeah, he kept Manning from killing you.
Saving someone's life, yeah, I think that's a pretty big deal. And looking back now, the look in his eyes, I didn't see it before, but it was like this look of recognition, I swear, like he knew me. Think I'm imagining it?
No, I don't.
I don't know. Maybe I should just tell him, Bo. Roxy doesn't want me to tell him, but if the guy's my father, he has a right to know. Doesn't he? What do you think?